We just kind of started having this conversation about what it would look like to start praying through having a family.
As we began talking through, God just really began pressing on our hearts this idea of adoption as the first way to begin our family.
We decided to start our family through adoption, and our reasoning behind adoption wasn't because we're struggling to have biological kids. It was just because we really felt like we need to consider and pray through the different options. And we feel like God led our hearts to adoption first. God settled our hearts in Ethiopia. People would ask, well, why Ethiopia? And we were kind of like, we don't know. God just kind of set our hearts there.
It felt like God just kept bringing one question after another to our hearts and to our minds. Does this child need to be an infant? We came to that conclusion, well, God, if you would have us adopt an older child, we could totally do that.
I just kind of threw out the idea, so what do you think about special needs? And as it turns out, God had been working on Nate's heart at the same time that he'd been working on mine, and we both kind of were like, yeah, we're all in. Let's start looking into what this really means. We were getting ready to submit our immigration paperwork, and I got a call from Nate, and he said, hey, you need to come home, we need to talk.
I had been known that I was going to be losing my job. I had been working as a pastor for 3 years at a church, and that kind of threw our world upside down, but also the added component in that was our adoption.
So we called Lifeline and spoke with our social worker. Before addressing anything with our adoption, she said, you know what? We don't need to talk about what this means for your adoption process, but we need to pray. We just stopped, and she prayed for us. She didn't pray about our adoption. She didn't pray that we would find a new job. She prayed for us. And that was probably one of the most encouraging things at one of the hardest times in our process that left a huge, huge impact.
We are so grateful for everyone in our lives who have jumped in as a part of our adoption story. We are not the only ones who are in this journey together.
So January of this year, we were able to pick up the home study and do a major update to that, and are hoping in the next month to be able to send our dossier over to Ethiopia to officially be on the waiting list to be matched with a child. There are so many ways that the church can get involved, that individuals can get involved with orphan care, and for us, that's adoption. But for someone else, that might be reaching out to a family who has adopted. Or maybe the easiest thing that you could do to help us would be just to share this video. Because maybe you have connections with friends that we don't know who are just as passionate about orphan care as we are.
Religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this: to visit widows and orphans in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. But the greater picture that we hope to portray is that we will be an image of what God has done for us through Jesus.
What we did not expect at all in the adoption process is that God would use it to expand our understanding of the gospel in such a huge and profound way.
And once we bring our child home, that's when the real journey begins.